Dear Ambassador D, welcome to our round of Singularity Academy's Ambassador round, where we are interested to find out what Southeast Asia, and in particular, of course, the Philippines, are all about with regard to current affairs, with regard to whatever is happening in the world. This will be part of a series where we just want to have comfortable conversations. It should not be highly political or world moving. We just want to exchange personal view. To start it out with, let me ask you a question. When we look at the Philippines are always dominated by its strong presidency. Currently, President Marcos is now well in his term. He has shaped his presidency in the past few months and years and has still a few years to go. What do you see as his major achievements, and where do you see the Philippines go in the rest of his term?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me in this the ambassadors event or dialogue. Basically, we are very happy. We're happy with the performance of President Marcos. We've seen in the last 2-3 years that we are back in the global community, in the community of nations. This is something very important that he has done to get the trust back to the Philippines, that we are open for business, that we are not confided into just using or choosing who to side with. It is and it has always been the stand of the Philippine government, the Filipino people, to be open, to be friends with everyone. So this is, I think, one of the things that are the major strengths of President Marcos is being able to reach out to business leaders, to political leaders. We've had so many foreign visits, state visits. That just signals that the trust is back. The trust and confidence to the Filipino nation, to the Philippine government is back, and the global community. And this translates to a lot of investments, a lot of FDIs, a lot of confidence in the private sector. And again, that entails, or that will definitely give a boost in opportunities, in job opportunities, job creation. This is what we want. This is what the agenda is to uplift, to raise the level of the Philippine nation into a medium, middle class nation. So we were set back for because of COVID, but I think now we're back on track, and we're very optimistic that we will be able to reach that by the time he ends his term.
Okay, thank you. Indeed, I think it was very visible how comfortable President Marcos is with international business leader and the international community. And from day one, with his visits to foreign countries, it was impressive how that shaped up. Now, translation into FDI, of course, is a very important item. And in regards to FDI and the future development of the Philippine economy, I know that the Philippines are trying to transform more into a service-based economy. How does artificial intelligence play a role with regard to, for example, business process outsourcing? And what are the plans of the Philippines on how to deal with artificial intelligence and its relationship to BPO?
Well, we've come up within well, we didn't come up, but we already have an artificial intelligence unit or division in the Philippines that is being handled by the private sector, by the AIM, or the Asia Institute of Management, that handles all the concerns, or pretty much what we need when it comes to AI. But definitely AI will play a major role in the business or BPO, the business process outsourcing industry, because a lot of these call center agents will definitely be replaced by voice activated or AIs, but it does not mean that they will definitely be out of the industry, but there will be new opportunities that will come into play. So this is the one that I think is very important for our not just the BPO sector, but different industries to cope up using AI. So again, the AI Institute or AI, I forget the term of what we call it in the government, will help us do capacity building for businesses. We constantly now have AI seminars, AI conferences, especially with the private sector, so they would be well guided in how to absorbing AI.
Thank you. Maybe back to the first set of questions where you said the Philippines are back in play with the global community. When I was listening to you, I was, of course, immediately just thinking about the global community being the West, the Western countries, etc. But of course, the Philippines are also very strongly set within the Asian community and within ASEAN and Southeast Asia. What are your strongest connections in ASEAN, and how will your relationship within ASEAN further develop?
Well, we are constantly enhancing our relationship between ASEAN. It has been very strong ever since, and now we're adding one more in ASEAN, which is Timor-Leste. So Philippines has always been in the forefront of the ASEAN. In terms of business or in terms of economy, the Philippine economy, the GDP of the Philippines has sort of pulled up the entire ASEAN as a group when it comes to attracting investors globally. Philippines has always also been at the forefront because we have our strengths, which is English speaking, a very good demographics on age, 25 to 34 years old. So it's a good position in the ASEAN. But I would like to sort of extend what you just talked about. Our partnerships not only with ASEAN but the entire Asia, including China. Despite the fact of some geopolitical tensions, we have not seen a stronger economic relationship with China. So regardless of what's happening in the West Philippine Sea, of the geopolitical issues, our economies are constantly being enhancing, or continuing to enhance. We have a very strong Filipino Chinese business community in the Philippines, and that is something that when you talk to them, these geopolitical issues or political issues don't affect the business relationship. So this is something that I think is very positive, and I think it's very unique that even if just us, well, we're outside now, we're here in Switzerland, but we hear things like this, but in the normal citizens, they don't. It's not their concern. They don't worry about these things. So this is something I think that will continue. The Filipinos have always been resilient, and as long as it's business as usual, as long as people have jobs, people have money to provide food for their family, I think everything will just be optimistic from then on.
Good. Now, I can't do a business talk or a conversation or such a dialogue without going into some comments about the new president in the United States. He has, let's say, introduced many new facets that affect global trade, that affect friendship as such, etc. Has the Philippines, have they been affected by recent developments, or are you just waiting and seeing how it will develop, or have there been early impacts so far?
We are monitoring, but so far the initial disruptions, as we would want to term it, for example, the cut on USAID, Philippines has been a beneficiary of USAID. That was not cut. So we were exempted from that. So I think the Trump administration is like sort of not generalizing everything, but if they see that they have a lot of interest, or there's mutual interest, beneficial interest, I think they continue it. But in terms of trade, we have not seen anything that has impacted us. In fact, a lot of the economists back home see it as a positive outlook, that the Trump administration will be a favorable avenue for the Philippine economy.
I think if I look at the trade statistics, the Philippines is a country that has a positive trade balance, one in favor of the US, whereas, for example, Switzerland is on the side of the bad people. We have a negative trade balance, so to speak, from the viewpoint of the US. So these topics, of course, are much more prevalent in our part of the world. Our national bank has been called a currency manipulator, and these are of course not so easy times. Whereas the Philippines, I think, currently enjoys a much more favorable situation. For that, I wish you well, and I hope it will continue to be like that. Thank you for all these comments, and I think with this we can conclude our dialogue. I wish you all the best, and I hope the Philippines will prevail in their mission to become a middle-class country rather sooner than later.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.